For this is the day, the Tuesday that the Lord has made, and we are rejoicing, and certainly we are glad in it. Welcome to a deeper dive. Come on in the room. Good to see you all are coming in the room. Like, share. Jamila Williams, good to see you. Deacon Omega, good to see you. Man of God, come on in the room, man. We are getting ready to have an amazing time as we get ready to dive in. Sister Jones, good to see you. I pray that you've had a great week thus far. Listen, we're going to get right into it. We are getting ready to dive in this pool. And listen, when you have done something of great significance, you know, we always go into deeper dive knowing that we need a diving partner. But tonight is going to be special, guys, because we have doubled the team tonight. And I'm excited about that. I have what I call the expansion team with me tonight. And I want to welcome them tonight. Man. We are excited and delighted to have them with us tonight. Of course, you know, Executive Brandon, he's always with us. But we have the psalmist of the week with us. And we've got one more of the expansion 4 with us tonight. So listen, y'all gotta share, y'all gotta let everybody know that we're getting ready to dive deeper into what God has done for the Zion Church. So good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
Brother Vernell, man, Brother Gonda, man. Okay, we got we got Brother Gonda live and in living color. Bless you, Pastor Harvey. How you doing, my brother? Brother Vernell, you good, man? Welcome. You a newbie to Deeper Dive, so I want to welcome you. Thank you for joining us, man. We're going to get right into it, guys. God bless Zion last week. I'm just going to say that, man. I know I'm the pastor, even though y'all didn't treat me like I was. We'll talk about that a little later. Y'all really did a brother wrong. But God met us at the Zion Church on this past week. We called it the expansion encounter. When God gave me this idea that we would get back into the presence of God, I had no idea what it would look like. We have not done anything of this level, of this wise, really since COVID. It was symbolic to what we used to do called the 7 days of his presence. But what made it more significant is we were able to use all in-house voices and vessels for the assignment. And I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I think that we hit the ball out the park. Give us just your summary, guys, and put it in the chat, man. How did you guys feel? I know what I felt, man, but how did you guys feel about the encounter that took place on last week?
Man, I thought it was incredible. We kind of spoke privately amongst ourselves about how amazing this week was, just for a whole lot of reasons, and just the actual encounter itself, man. Just I think people experienced God in a different way, experienced the presence of God in a way that they had not before, and that was part of the whole plan, and the prayers that we had for it. And just to see what God can do with what's already in the house was just incredible, right? We didn't have to bring anyone in or fly anyone in. It was just us. It was just Zion. And God really did an incredible thing every single night. And every night it was a little bit different. Every night was different, but it was amazing every night. So it was just an incredible experience for me personally, man. Just, being a part of it. From the preaching standpoint, but also from just being an observer and being able to enjoy the service as well.
Dang, Jazz, she like bumped the preaching. Y'all Negroes ain't do nothing. I just like the singing. Dang, boy. That's what happened when you a singer, boy. hey, girl, we ain't do nothing.
We didn't even show up.
We didn't even show up. It could have just been Vernell.
Probably cut us off after the
Listen, man, one of the things
used to hearing from us, I guess.
Right. We started this, and this, Deeper Dive, a part of Deeper Dive is kind of going behind the scenes about the sermon, and we're going to do that as well. But the go behind the curtain of just the whole concept, it started with myself and, Pastor Brandon, Pastor Gunda. God had made it clear that those would be the voices for the night, the 3 nights. But then I met it, and I told them that God had laid a particular voice into my spirit that I wanted to use to kind of be the lead vocalist, psalmist, worshiper for the night, for those 3 nights, man. And as soon as I brought this name up, everybody agreed that give him a call, man. He needs to be a part of that. And I'm going to say, Brother Vernell, I do agree with Jasmine. You did an amazing job. I want you to talk about, because you were the fire starter of the nights. When and I know God obviously spoke to your spirit about the songs. People need to understand that this type of move happens through prayer and planning, right? That you don't get up there and just say, okay, Lord, whatever. No, you've got to hear from God, because it was your assignment to set the atmosphere. I want you to talk about what that looks like from a psalmist perspective. You were given an assignment, and again, you hit it out of the park. But what was God saying to you in this moment, that how he wanted to use you to bring us to where we were this week? Oh, I think you're muted. Some kind of way. I don't know why. We heard you earlier. I don't know. It's not on our end. Let me log them back. Log back out and log back in. Let's see what happened. I'm going to kick that over to you, Pastor Gunda. And you can give us some insight on that as well. Vernell's going to log back in. But just as a psalmist and a preacher, give your aspect. Let's see. I think we got.
Can you guys hear me?
Oh, there we go. All right, we back. See, the devil's trying early. He ain't gonna win. So go ahead. Go ahead with that, man. Tell us how you felt, man, as the psalmist.
I'll start with, I wasn't too sure if I wanted to accept this assignment or not. I wasn't sure if I was in the right place, but then when you called me and I had to confirm, God gave me the okay. Aside from me having to prepare the music piece, before I even went that far, I actually called Brandon. So that was my first phone call. Just how we would have done it back in the day when I'm giving tired, when you call me with something that's really not where I want to be in the moment, I always call Brandon. So Brandon pretty much, he softened the tone. He was pretty much like, look, man, I think you're thinking about it too much. That's all he said. And I tried to make every reason why I just probably didn't want to do it. He was like, look, man, I think you thinking about it too much. So I took another day. That was on a Thursday. Then this was Friday. You told me the tone you want to kind of set. And I knew it had to be like, prophetic in a way in terms of flow. So I didn't immediately pick songs. I wanted to, I thought warfare and fire, and that was the worship theme for me. And then as I began to search and I began to look, God just began to like kind of download songs. Some of them just came to me. I didn't have to. I just kind of envisioned certain. Like I say, the theme for me was fire, revival. So you notice that on those first couple of nights, that's what the music was. It was about revival, and that's pretty much where I was. So,
man, and you know what? And this is a word for everybody. Sometimes the moments where we don't want to do something, right? When we're trying to run from it, and then because they hear you say you try to run from it. And for people to know the ending of it, I mean, like, wow, it was so powerful. Why would he have tried to run from it? But that's what the devil knows. He knows what was going to happen. So he tried to abort the assignment. He tried to get you to cancel because he knew that that was the only way that we were not, because this thing was more about preaching. The people needed everything that happened this week. And I thank God for your perseverance, and I'm glad you shared that, because somebody else may be listening to this and they're trying to run away from something God wants you to do. And that's what the devil tries to do. He tries to stop us. He tries to give us all type of reasons and excuses not to do it. But as we can see, you needed to be the person. Not to say it wouldn't have worked with someone else, but I know what God told me. I know what God showed me. And he told me that you were the person to get us to where we needed to go, because you have that gift, that talent. You are a atmosphere setter. You are a atmosphere shifter. So we, the people of Zion, P2B Nation, we were blessed by your yes. And we're not going to even talk about this lady in the comment section, because she just she need to be drug tested. She need to be drug tested.
Let's talk about how I got her there, because
okay,
I think it's equal. Like, I got to give credit to the team, right?
Right.
I brought them there after I had agreed. This was a Thursday, then the next day was Friday. So from Friday to Monday, I had to kind of seek. And a lot of people don't know, I just met her probably maybe like 2 months ago through a mutual friend.
Wow.
And we just kind of click. We have very similar spirits in terms of worship. You guys know I've been with you since you got there. I'm an outer worship kind of person. I'm very expressive when I worship. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna jump. I'm gonna dance. She's very similar in the same way. So when we've been in the same environments, whether it's been a funeral, we cut up in these.
Y'all tearing up funerals like that, Lord Jesus.
Yes, we cut up in a funeral. I said, you, my friend, is gonna be my praise partner, and that's how we connected. I called her. Look, I gotta assemble a team. She did not hesitate. So I got to give my flowers to the people that won the team as well. I drugged them out there on a Monday night. We stayed till about 9:30, and you know me, everything is just gonna fall out the sky. You've never heard it before. And they labored, they studied the music, and we got it done. So I don't leave them out.
Wow. Well, again, that's Kemp. Thank you so much. Thank you for accepting the assignment and building your team. I built the team of preachers. You built the team of psalmists, and that's how we were able to get this fire started. Right? It's this combustion that took place, man. And so I wanted to get the people kind of behind the scenes, because sometimes people just think stuff happens, right? But it's a team effort. Teamwork always makes the dream work. And I am absolutely excited about that, man. God shared to me this whole SWOT analysis. I've been on this thing for the past several months. I've been talking about this within ministries. I've been talking about this with people that I have influence on, our executive team, and I've been asking everybody to focus on some things that I have been personally focusing on, which is what I call the SWOT. It's the strengths, the weaknesses, the opportunities, and the strength and the threats. And I wanted to build this encounter around that. And so, guys, as preachers and psalmists, we sometimes structure, you want to kind of preach what you feel God laid in your heart, but sometimes you're given an assignment, right? You're given an assignment. And let's be honest, sometimes when you're given an assignment, you got to put in a little extra work, right? If it's just come preach, you could go into the bag of old messages and maybe pull up something and warm it up. But sometimes when you're given an assignment, you got to hear fresh from God. And all of us had to do that this week. I want to start off And guys in the comment section, y'all let us know, man, how y'all enjoyed these messages. We kicked off talking about strengths with Pastor Brandon, and his assignment was strengths, and he focused on go with what you got, going with what you got. Pastor Brandon, when God gave you that assignment as it relates to strengths, what was on your heart, man? What's the significance for those of us that are listening with understanding the power and the strength with what God has already given us?
Yeah. Really, it came from just really that thought right there that, sometimes we kind of overlook what it is we already have, or we become so used to it that we don't always necessarily see it as a strength, because it's so familiar and it's just who we are and what we do. And just really through prayer, man, the Lord led me to this text, and I'm pretty certain I've never preached it before, and I don't even know how I saw strength in it, but it's just the revelation that you get, man, from just reading the scriptures and hearing from the Lord, because that's exactly what it was, man. It was, just this wrestling of Moses trying to get out of something because he felt like he was not capable, right? He was trying to give all these reasons for why he should not go, why he should not be the one. And God told him, like, what's in your hand, right? And to me, that reading that question right there in verse 2 of the text, what's in your hand, when I read it, it just yelled at me. This is your strength, right? What you have in your hand already is your strength, but you need to see it and recognize it as that. And as I began to just work on the sermon, man, and really just dive into it, it became evident that this message and this text was where I needed to be. And that really is what it was, man. It's understanding and seeing, like, hey, what I need, I already have, right? The strengths I currently have is what I have to start with, because in a real sense, when you're doing a SWOT analysis and you're starting with strengths and you're analyzing your strengths, you're not thinking about strengths that you intend to gain later, right? You're not thinking about what you intend to be later or what you intend to get later. It's about what you have right now. Identify your strengths right now. And when I read this text, it just became clear to me, like, hey, this what you have in your hand, that's what you have right now. And you got to go with that. So all these reasons and things that you're bringing up as an excuse not to go, you got just go with what you got. Go with what's already in your hand. Go with the strengths that you already have. Doesn't mean you shouldn't get better. Doesn't mean you shouldn't aspire to be more, but start the journey with what you already got.
Guys, I'm gonna start Gondon and ask Vernell the same question. Why do we find it difficult to identify our own strengths? Why do we sometimes feel we don't have any strengths? Or why do we try to run away from them? I know I've been guilty of it.
A lot of times for me, it's just trying not to overly boast, in myself. So a lot of times things that others may see as strengths, me and myself may see them as weaknesses. Simply because I'm trying not to boast. Kind of the same thing Paul was saying.
Yeah.
I don't really want to boast in this, because we all hear people all the time. Oh man, you're so good. And even sometimes when it comes to preaching, when you think you did the worst, is usually most of the time when you were the most effective.
Right.
Wow.
Have you ever experienced that when you?
Oh,
Like,
absolutely.
Man,
I just about every Sunday.
People are like, man, that really blessed me.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of times that is our own self humility trying to bring us down and keep us humble before the Lord. So sometimes we see ourselves lower than what we really are, and that's, I think, a mechanism that God have given us to help keep us humble.
Wow. Vernell, do you Do you kind of have that same wrestle with that? Oh, I think you're out again.
He got to get rid of that Metro, man. You got to move on from that.
Yeah, it's out, man. I don't know. It's something is happening. I don't know. Man, I have to log back and log back out, log back in. I'm not sure what's happening, man. It was fine, and we gonna let you come back in. I know for me, I wrestle with that, man. I've been preaching since 2000. I'm sorry, since 1997, and I've been pastoring since, of course, for 15 years. And every single Sunday, I am nervous like it's my first time. I don't care where I am, right? I don't care if I'm at Zion, if I'm, because I don't think that preaching is my strength. I like to teach. You put me in the classroom, I don't look at, but it's important that we surround ourselves with people who see what we don't see.
Right. Right.
I think that's important because if not, like you said, I think this is like you said, it's this healthy balance of, like some people, man, they become overly cocky with it, right? But for most of us, it's kind of like, man, this is, as Jazz says, it's easier to look at the weaknesses and not sure. But what about you, Renell? What do you wrestle with that, man?
I do because I think I started so young, especially doing praise and worship, and I think it's oftentimes the members kind of they elevate us so high, and then in an instance where you're young and you fall, and I've always wrestled with that in terms of how I allow people to kind of put me here and like, oh no, and me, I'm always in the background, just willing to just aid and assist wherever I can. But yeah, I've always kind of looked at it like that. I've just never wanted to be, but I think members.
You said something that I want to push a little bit, and I'm gonna ask everybody this question: do you lose your strength from a fall?
That is a question too.
Great question.
You said that. That's the thing that I resonate. A lot of times, or a lot of times in a church, we will run from our strengths after a fall or a mistake. We think that that's the Christian thing to do, right? You fall, and I'm not saying there's no rehabilitation. I'm not saying that, but I know literally people that are fall and they never want to go back to their strengths anymore because they scared or because people gonna talk about them. People gonna. But can God continue to use your strengths even after a fall or a failure, a mistake?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
The answer to that is yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Most people will say no. I mean, we know it's a yes, but we all know in the church, people will say no. You can't preach no more. You can't sing no more. She got pregnant. He did this. He did that. No, do something else. Especially if that strength puts you on a stage or a platform in front of people.
Let me say this. I grew up in church where if you were going through anything, if you were pregnant, sit down or don't come to church. If you made a mistake, if you did this, you need to be pushed to the side. So I will say this: when I went through my season, okay, of my situation, going through charged by the FBI, federally prosecuted, all kind of crap plastered all over the news. I was ready, like I wanted to pull myself down because that's what I was used to. But and when I shared that with you, Pastor, you said you ain't doing nothing. You ain't said you gonna minister through this. And I can stand and tell you that I went through seasons doing this public humiliation, doing this public downfall. I went through seasons where I literally, honestly wanted to commit suicide. Forget suicide. I wanted to kill myself. Okay. I wanted to kill myself. I wanted to bury my head in the dirt. I wanted to never ever sing again, never ever preach again, never ever be seen again, because the worst and the most horrible things came from preachers and came from pastors and came from people who I loved, who I did things for, who I loaned money to. The most horrible things came from those people. And not one time did a phone call, hey man, are you all right? Hey man, do you have something to eat? Not one time did a phone call come from any of those people. So I felt beat down, battered, and brute and abused. But I will say this: the one thing that kept me sane was my worship. The one thing that kept me sane what was being able to come and worship, because I'm mature enough to understand that when I take that mic, it's not for people. It's just like you. And before you preach to Zion, you got to preach to yourself. So
No.
Yeah.
God allowed me, God used me to minister to me, and I was able to allow him to allow me through his glory to minister healing to myself. So I was able to sing about the love of God, about the grace of God, about God, the second chances of God, and how God loves me. I was able to sing it, but I really wasn't singing it to Zion. I was singing it to myself. And
Wow.
and I don't know what my
Oh,
life would
wow.
have became if you had a sat me down.
Oh, God. Oh, God. That's heavy.
Well, just
That's,
I want
whoo,
to piggyback what Pastor Gunn.
Jesus.
When I went through my season, like you talked about sitting down, but I kind of was brought up. So um, it, the weirdest thing. I'm trying not to think about it too much, but yeah. So in that season, it was kind of like I was here. I wanted to kind of float away. I kind of even stayed away for a season, almost like 2 years maybe. Came back slowly. I went through, like you said, public humiliation, the embarrassment. I even considered just leaving the church altogether and just, Brandon knows this, finding another ministry because I'm in my mind, I'm like, maybe I can start fresh. But then in the same voice, I would say, uh, I would tell myself, but those people wouldn't love me the same. And that's because I knew the body in which I was a part of. So once Pastor Austin kind of restored me, we went through a season. We had several talks, and he felt like I was ready. It wasn't. I want everybody to know it was nothing I did. That was all pastoral, and that's when I came back.
You know what, this question you raised and this conversation makes me, it posed a question in my head. And I don't necessarily have the answer to it, but it poses a question. How many Psalms would be missing if David stopped writing after he
All right, we gonna get out of here tonight. Yeah.
That was good. That was good. That was good.
Yeah,
That was
yeah,
That was
good.
good.
yeah. We wouldn't hear from David.
how many Psalms would be missing if David stopped writing after he fell?
Lord have mercy.
That was
Lord
good.
have mercy. Lord have mercy.
Hey, and Pastor, you asked a question. You said, can you be strong after a fall? If you ask me, you can be stronger.
Stronger.
You can be stronger, because what happens with the fall, a fall does not mean that the area in you where you fell just showed up. It been there. It was just exposed. And I truly believe that what God reveals, he heals. What God
Oh,
exposes, he just put on the front street that weakness. He exposed that weakness to help us become strong in that area. So I
wow.
think the answer to that question is really based on the person,
Lord
themselves.
have mercy.
After God exposed that thing and allow that thing to be exposed, you have the opportunity now to not only win souls for him, but to become stronger in every other area of your life.
I like it. God bless you, Pastor Sean. I'm gonna say this, and we gonna push. Um, you're absolutely right, man. God has used me, and I don't take any credit for this. You guys brought it up. God has used me in my time at Zion to be a restorer. And I'm grateful for that. Because I understand what the enemy would try to do with strengths. And I've always encouraged those that were being restored to go back to your strengths. I'm not going to restore you into a lesser role. I'm not going to restore you if you were up here, because to me, that's not real restoration. We're going to restore. We're gonna restore you back. And Vernell, you said something. Most people don't understand this. There's a process. The process is just done behind the scenes. Mm-hmm. The work was done behind the scenes. But when God wants to use us, He uses us in the way that He see fit. And you said it, Gonda. It's after we fall, we become stronger. Which kind of pushes us to weaknesses. Night one was about strengths. Going with what you got. That you don't, whatever you have will work. Whatever you have, you don't have to try to find something. Your strength is already on the inside of you. But we do have to deal with some weaknesses, right? And Pastor Gonda, you said to us on Thursday night that our weaknesses can literally become our weapon. And when I think about weapons, I think about something we use to fight, something we use to combat. How can the believer, number one, as you stated, first principle, recognize or, understand that we have it, but we have this weakness, but how do we use it for God's glory?
We use it for God's glory because we understand that, number one, that's the main area that the enemy is going to attack us. And basically, as I said, the issue is not really the weakness. The problem is the bondage is when we ignore the weakness, because that's the area where the enemy is going to attack us. So think about it. If I have two main weaknesses, and that's the area where the enemy is going to attack me the most. If I get that area together, the devil ain't got nothing left. The devil don't have nothing left. So when I say we could use it as our weapon, I simply mean that needs to be the area that we concentrate on the most, the area that we try to build the most discipline. Because the truth of the matter is, some of our weaknesses we may never get over. We may never. One of my weaknesses is red velvet cake. All right.
Yeah.
I'm trying to keep my weight down. It's hard, but my weakness is red velvet cake. And it does not matter how much I go to the gym. It does not matter how much weight I have lost. It does not matter how much I have fasted and prayed. When I see a red velvet cake, it says, Ernest. The more I ignore it, then it say Nard. It start calling me my nicknames. So it don't matter what I do, that remains my weakness. So what I have to do, because I know that's my weakness, I have to put some discipline in place. I have to make sure that if I walk through the living room and I see a red velvet cake, I keep going. I take off. I run. I keep going. I have to make sure that if I'm in a restaurant and I see them with red velvet cake, I got to go the opposite direction. I have to put discipline in place in my life concerning my weaknesses, because the truth of the matter is, I'm fighting to get over these weaknesses, but some weaknesses I just have to face head on and realize I may not be able to overcome them. I'm just going to have to deal with them.
Yeah, you got some interesting friends, Gonda. You said something. Weaknesses does not have to be what we consider a sin. It may be our personal sin, right? Sometimes we think of weaknesses as adultery. Man, you just talked about a food that could be a weakness, right? And a lot of times when we have to know how to even manage, because you're not going to hell for eating red velvet cake. But what you said, the key word you said is discipline. Discipline is a critical thing that many of us lack. So whatever we are weak in, we got to discipline ourselves to strengthen that up, which is what gyms are for. We go to gyms to work out and maintain that. And a lot of times, at least for us, for me, that's what we struggle with, right? We struggle with because it takes discipline to go to that gym. But you're trying to work out some weak areas of your life, but it requires discipline. Yeah, and that's somebody say red velvet cake in the blood of Jesus. It's the same color. Yeah, man.
I think there's some people, man, that have unfortunately been conditioned to think that God only uses perfect people without weaknesses. And I think there's a generation that did a good job of hiding their weaknesses. Social media, there was no, so a lot of people just kind of came up, seeing the pastor, the preacher, like, they were without blemish. You know what I mean? And you didn't let a lot of people in to see any other side. But I think that the truth and the reality is that there are no perfect people. For one, we know that. So God uses us in spite of our weaknesses, right? He doesn't, disqualify us because we have weak areas. If that's the case, there wouldn't be anyone being used, right?
Yeah.
Even the text that I preached from, when you look further down into it, Moses comes up with another excuse not to go, right? He says, I got a speech problem, right? I'm not eloquent in speech. God didn't heal him of his speech problem. He sent them anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
That was a weakness, right? He was honest. It wasn't false, right? It was a good excuse if you could ever come up with one. But he didn't heal him of it. He just said, I got you. You're going anyway, right?
Right.
So I think, not that everyone has to know everyone's truths and everyone's life, but I think people do need to understand that anyone that you see God using, they have a weakness.
Yeah. The person needs to know. The public may not always need to know it, but as you said, you need to know that they got one.
They have one. You don't even know what it is. You just they got one, and God uses people in spite of their weaknesses, right?
And,
that's just the reality of it.
and a reality, and you can do the research you want. The most talented, the most gifted, the most anointed people deal with sometimes the worst
The hardest
level of I mean, I'm telling you, like
Hayes,
the
you got
greatest
this, woman of
musicians
God.
that I know have the greatest struggles.
Yeah. The musicians, psalmists, preachers, you name it. You are absolutely right. Now I will say this about God discernment, because Vernell, he talked about your phone. Need a new phone. We all need a new phone, guys. Cause I don't know about y'all, but I ain't got them numbers in my phone that Gonda, them people Gonda was calling. Yeah, maybe y'all got them in y'all phone, but I got Paul, but it ain't that one. I tried to call him. It wasn't that Paul. I got a David, but it ain't that. I was talking to him about Psalms 23. He didn't know what I was talking about. When I tell you, when Gonda started calling them folks, I felt the Holy Ghost. I listen. Then he put one on hold and say somebody else. Listen, I was done. You could have knocked me over with a feather.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure at some point he was on a three-way call.
Yeah, he was on a three-way call, man. He got.
There was so much power on that call.
Listen, y'all. Listen, when I tell you we couldn't stand it, we couldn't take no. I was like, who phone is this? Because I need to steal it. I ain't got all these numbers. And Pastor Brandon got all the okay, he got all the numbers in the phone. Listen, man, I one of the things that I appreciate about this revival was the unique gifts of everybody. And nobody's outshining the other person. Because, as we said, Vernell could have had the revival all to himself. Them three girls, the three of them, they could have had they had it in their hands. I mean, they had it up from go. But they did, and we've all been there where we've seen psalmists and musicians just take off with it, and they kill the people so much so that the people just too tired to hear a word.
Yeah.
But what I saw in that worship to me was masterful.
Yeah.
It was everybody understood their assignment, and they handed the ball off to us in such a magnificent way that we couldn't help but keep the fire burning.
And what I love about us, that there's no competitive bones in our body. We're all comfortable in our own skin. We all have 3 different styles. But I will admit, I did leave. I didn't sleep Wednesday night.
Well,
I didn't sleep.
how you think I felt? Oh, I didn't sleep all week.
Hey, after Pastor Brandon did that, I'm like, now Lord, what am I supposed to do?
Right. I didn't sleep all week. I'm still tired.
Hey, Pastor, I was like, now he was supposed to give the appetizer. The dude gave the dessert. He gave the whole meal. Like, how am I supposed to come preach Thursday? But he made Thursday hard.
Listen.
But God still showed up.
Listen, you got on the phone and called some people, man. That's what you did.
I had to call. Yeah, you see, I had to phone a friend.
I had to phone a friend.
I couldn't come by myself. I had to bring
I
had to bring everybody with me.
Listen, man, by Thursday night, them people didn't even remember what they got to go with.
No.
They didn't even remember their strengths by Thursday night.
No, man.
About what I had said, man.
All I know is after Gonda dealt with our weaknesses, we stayed an extra hour. That's all I know. If you just watched online, what you do not know is we stayed there an extra hour.
Yeah.
So we all was weak that night.
Oh, sweet.
Listen, the overflow that night was.
But hey, let's go ahead and talk about this door, guy. My God.
Opportunities.
The
Opportunity.
door, bro.
Opportunities.
A whole door. A whole door.
A whole other level.
I'm talking about every part of the door. Okay.
Why did Jazzy put the whole? I read that in her voice. That's why I'm laughing so hard. Well, listen, what else I had to do? I mean, I had to do something to keep my job. My goodness.
And listen, it wasn't that he couldn't have preached it like he did it without the door. That was the theory on top. Because without the door, he killed it. So,
listen, I had to call. You got on the phone. I got the Home Depot. I said to call Home Depot.
I've never seen a door on wheels. I ain't never seen a door on wheels.
Door on wheels.
Opportunities, man. God wanted me.
When them folks start running through that door.
Listen, Vernell, where I'm preaching, man, and all I felt was a gush of wind. And next thing I know, I just had to move out the way because the people started walking through these doors of opportunity, man. What I felt in my spirit was God saying to us, and I think this is critical for all of us in this season, man, of how people that look like us, opportunities are trying to be, they're being stripped from us in every way and every turn. But God wanted us to know in this season that the door is still wide open, and you can walk through them, man. Despite your past, despite your weaknesses, there's doors of opportunity still open. You still have opportunities to use your strength. I'm grateful that God used this revival to give, people like you an opportunity, or the church as a whole an opportunity to still use their strength. Because guess what? What the world does is it takes our past and it takes away our opportunity. You can't do this anymore because of this mistake. And I'm not saying that in some cases that's not justified. But what I am saying is we got to appreciate the grace that God has on our lives by giving us that opportunity to still preach, the opportunity to still minister, the opportunity to still sing. Because where would we be if God did not give us that opportunity?
Wow. Sure.
So I'm grateful, man. Again, I just had to find something. I mean, I had to find something, man. Something that visual aid, man, to get the people off the mind of he ain't really saying nothing. Well, we see this.
That ain't the case. He said it so good that he didn't even have to tell the people to go through the door.
No.
Said to do it.
I never said.
That's how you know what you said, and the prop you used. That's how you know it was perfect, because he never said to start going through the door. They just started doing it.
Just started going.
Listen. And I want everybody who was there to recognize, man, there's an opportunity for you. Somebody was saying earlier she's got a speaking engagement and she's nervous. Listen, God gave you that opportunity. You got it. If you couldn't have done it, if you didn't have the ability, I'm just crazy enough to believe, and you got to believe in yourself, that if this opportunity came to me and I didn't get it because I cheated, because I slept with somebody, I got it authentically, I didn't ask for it, you got to have this confidence in yourself that you could do this. You could do it. But here it is. I'm going to ask this question. Why do we run from opportunities? Why do we not think we are worthy to walk through the door of opportunity? Why do we run?
Because we know our weaknesses.
Wow. Ooh.
We know them better than anybody else. We talk about ourselves because we know ourselves.
And I think also not only that, but we're too overly concerned with what others may think or say.
We disqualify ourselves.
Yeah.
Lord have mercy.
And it's
Fear to messing up. I like that.
It's a confidence thing sometimes too, man. It's you just don't always think you're able, right? And I think humility is good. Humility is necessary. I think some people maybe have too much of it and others don't have enough of it. But it's that balance, man, of being humble enough to know, hey, maybe I don't deserve this opportunity, but confident enough to know I can do this.
Yeah.
Right? Because sometimes we just don't think we can. We don't think we'll do well at it. We don't think we can take on a bigger task or a larger role. And I think that's okay, but it's not a reason to not do it. I remember telling somebody that years ago that was kind of struggling with, wanting, a promotion was available and things like that. And it was all these reasons, why they felt like they shouldn't or couldn't rather. And I'm like, I hear all that, but none of those things that you just said are a reason to not do it.
Right.
No.
Duly noted.
Right.
But
I get all that, but I still haven't heard a reason to not do it. Right. So I think, so many people just don't have that level of, enough confidence in self, or even enough confidence in God, I would say in some situations, because you can be sure that maybe you cannot, while also being sure that God can. Right. So, hey, maybe I'm not capable, but if God is bringing me to this opportunity and he's pressing me to take it or to do it, that means that he's going to prepare me with what I need to do it,
Right.
And I think that's the case, man. So we we cannot cower down from opportunities or back away from opportunities because we think we're not capable.
Yeah.
Especially in this season, man, like because what present times have shown us, even up to the highest office in this country, is that you don't have to be capable to have the position.
Uh-oh.
Okay? So,
Lord, the LCC gonna put us off the line. Lord, dude.
Don't get my pastor started.
Right. So if it's showing us that, like, you literally don't have to be capable. You can be in the highest office in this country and don't have to be capable.
But you took advantage of an opportunity.
Took advantage of an opportunity.
Wow.
And you're doing the job, I use that term lightly, with your incapable self. Right? So
there are people on platforms, Vernell, that can't sing as good as you. There are people, but I've seen people on TV that I take Zion voices.
Absolutely.
But they got an opportunity. Cause remember, Vernell, snuck that in. He almost closed the door of the opportunity. And but we have to understand that people, we just have to take advantage of the opportunity. If it's presented to us, we have to believe in the God of the opportunity.
Yeah.
And knowing that whatever the baggage is, whatever's on your resume, they probably knew it when they gave you the opportunity, and they gave it to you anyway.
Yeah,
you got it anyway.
And a lot of times, man, when you get to certain places of leadership and things like that, man, we can't only think about ourselves, right? If you are afforded an opportunity where you get to dictate who that door opens for again, you need to take that opportunity.
Wow.
Right? If you are being let in,
that's good. That's good.
And now you are going to be a part of that conversation or part of the decision making in who's going to be letting that door after you. You owe it. You owe it to yourself, but you owe it to those coming behind you.
Oh, that's good.
Take that, even if you feel incapable.
Wow.
Take advantage of that opportunity, because then you can make sure that the right people are able to get in that door the next time.
Yeah, man. We get to leave the door open for somebody else. Man, that's woo.
What one of the things that I do love about opportunity is sometimes even when we're not ready, we have to realize it's okay to not feel ready for an opportunity, because opportunity stretches us.
Yeah.
And
yes.
I'll be honest with you. I've taken lately on some opportunities, and some assignments that I thought I wasn't ready for. But
you mean like building drum cages and doors and it's Jugger Bob the Builder, man. Bob the Builder, man.
Listen. I went from building a drum cage to building out a whole house.
What is this man doing, man?
Something that I just felt I wasn't ready for. But I took on the opportunity, and when I took on the opportunity, it allowed me to meet some different people. And now instead of me really doing the work, I'm just the brains of the operation. But me accepting the opportunity have opened up a lot of more doors.
See, I didn't know Gonda could build the door, guys. I didn't know that Gonda could have just built me the door. I wouldn't have had to borrow the door. I wouldn't have had to borrow the door. When I got Bob the Builder, he could have just built it.
It may have not been on wheels, though.
I could have just built the door, man.
You know what I can honestly say? I can honestly and transparently say that there has not been one opportunity that I've taken in all my years. There's not been one opportunity that I felt I was ready for. And I mean that in ministry and in career.
Yeah.
Not one of them that I feel I was ready for.
Wow.
Did it anyway.
Wow.
And on the other
Wow.
side of it, it's like, okay, like, not that there's an expertise, but I know, kind of know what I'm doing now, right?
Right.
But not one of them was that I felt like I was prepared for, that I felt like I was worthy of it, or I could do it. Not one.
And here's why I think that's critical, guys, because this is what our foreparents fought for. They fought for equal opportunities. That's really all they ever fought for. Throughout the history of the African American, all they were fighting for was opportunity. They never asked for to be given anything. All we've ever asked for is an opportunity. And as Pastor Brandon said, we owe it to ourselves, the ones behind us, and the one that will come after us, to walk through those doors and make sure we leave it open so others can come in. We can't pull a Clarence Thomas and just close the door and get the law school on affirmative action and then come right back and vote again. We can't do that. He closed the door opportunity. But we got to be able to take advantage of that opportunity. Take it, because guess what? As you said earlier, there are going to be some people that's less qualified than we are, but they're going to take that opportunity. Yeah, they're going to take it.
And it's usually the ones that are less qualified that are jumping at the opportunity.
Oh, Jesus.
You see that a lot.
Jesus. This joke on fire, man. Hey, y'all, Shirley say she ought to come to our church one Sunday. The door is open.
Come on, Shirley.
The door is open. We'll find another mic. You can take my mic. I just bought a new mic with Vernell. Okay, we just buying mics, man. We just buying mics. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities. We ended with threats. I had the tough assignment to go. I should have started the wheel again. Threats. Man, when I looked at this passage God gave me, this Goliath, man, Goliath was a threat to Israel. He was a threat to the progress of Israel. And God told me very clearly, whenever there's a threat, you got to kill it before it kills you. Yeah. But now that's what we got to do with our threats, right? Anything that's threatened to harm us, we got to kill it. We can't patty cake it. We can't massage it. We got to kill it, man. And whether it's our personal lives, whether it's our church, right? You know that Vernell, you probably not a combat fighter, but if somebody breaking into this place you at right now, hey man, you ain't gonna just start speaking in tongues. You gonna try to eliminate the threat. Cause that person ain't breaking in your houses for prayer.
Man, Vernell gonna run, man. Vernell ain't gonna shake.
Nah, Vernell gonna be a killer, man. Vernell gonna be a killer. I ain't a killer, but don't push me. But see, here's the thing. You don't have to be a killer, but you become one when you're threatened. When somebody's threatened to kill you, it puts you into killer mode.
Yeah, that's right.
And as Christians, we have to have the killer's mentality, the killer instinct. That's what they said about Kobe, man. Kobe had that killer instinct.
Yeah.
And I think as Christians, we have to maintain that killer instinct when it comes to our family, when it comes to us, when it comes to our anointing. Things that come to try to kill our anointing. We know that, hey, if I do this, it's going to kill my reputation. We got to kill it before it kills us.
Amen.
Because everybody has a phone. Everybody's watching. Everybody's doing that. And so you have to be able to kill some things, man. And I'm not saying this, hey, Paul says it's a fight, man. When I want to do good, evil is all around me. So it's not easy, but we know if we indulge or partake And some of it we know through our own personal failures. Hey man, this could be a threat. This weakness, if I don't kill it, it can threaten my health. It can threaten my livelihood. It can threaten some things. So we gotta have that. We gotta have that killer instinct to know how to kill it, man. And you know, I've had to do doubt. Doubt can kill opportunity. You got to kill it.
Yeah, there's a difference between when someone is charged with homicide and when they're granted self-defense.
Well, you ought to know,
right? And it's all dependent upon if there was a threat against
the threat level,
right? You know, if someone kills because their life was endangered and their life was threatened, then they're not going to be necessarily charged with murder. It's called self-defense. I'm defending self, right? So I think that same idea, man, when there's something, to your point, when there is something that is threatened, you know, you didn't ask for the threat, you know, it's coming, it's against you. You need to go into self-defense mode, and defend yourself or defend whatever it is that, you know, that you're responsible for. Like you said, doubt, you know, just anything that could be a killer, right? A lot of times it's not just it's doubt, and many leaders, I think, deal with that, as we kind of spoke about tonight. But sometimes, man, it's connections too, right? Who you're connected to, right? Who you're allowing to influence you.
That's big.
You know, who you have in your circle, who you have on your team. Are they adding to it? Or are they taking away from it? You know, that those things you really have to look at when they're talking about what are the threats, because, you know, sometimes the threat isn't a foreign person or somebody you don't know is what I mean, right? Sometimes it's someone who's familiar. Many times it's someone who's familiar, right? That you've allowed to be there, and you know that familiarity is why they are so dangerous. Right. Some, because they've been on your team for 10 years, right? Been on your staff for 10 years, but you know they ain't really cutting it no more.
Wow. Pastor Brandon, that's good.
It could be.
What happens? We probably ain't got time to deal with it, but what happens when a close friend or confidant becomes a threat to your next?
You have to back down.
Yeah.
They were good. They were good for you. They were good for you up until now, but now your continual association or affiliation will become a threat to your next level of progress.
Right.
I've been in that situation before. I've been in that situation, and it's a very hard. It's very easy for us to say, "Oh man, I just cut people off." But it's easier said than done. I think it takes process, and it takes. Remember, I was talking about how you have to acknowledge it and you have to kind of evaluate it. I think you have to repeatedly say to yourself, if I don't sever this, what is it going to cost me? Because I've been in that situation where I've been connected to people where my connection to them will cost me my next. And I had to kind of back away, but now it's kind of severed, but I think it's a process. For me, it's a process. Now, for other people, they may be able to say, "Hey, I'm cutting you off. I ain't talking to you. I ain't dealing with you no more." But for me,
Brandon that is not Brandon's weakness. I tell you that. That ain't his. That's his strength. That's his strength.
And I'm so ashamed of it. I'm so ashamed. I promise. My wife tell me all the time. She's like, I just don't understand. But you know what? Because I don't even want to call it an ability because it seems harsh. But I'm just so serious about not allowing people into a space that they don't need to be in, or continuing to let them be in a space they don't need to be in. Like, I have cut off family. I have cut off friends.
Lord.
And I don't even feel bad.
Yeah, but then I kind of sense that as a part of a strength that you possess too. I watch how you move, and I sense that is.
Just cut it off, man. Just cut it off. You know,
I'd be like, I ain't even know that was your family member, man. Yeah, because I cut them off.
Yeah.
you know,
I have a problem with that.
but I do understand that it's tough to come back. I really do get that. But I think maybe it's a numbness towards it. I don't know, but just my peace is just so valuable, man.
Right.
And I think when you recognize that they just cannot be around, like you cannot allow them in because it's gonna mess up where you're going. It's like, listen, I love you, but I'm gonna love you from a distance.
Yeah.
Right.
Because they become a threat. They become a threat.
I'm gonna have to love you from a distance because this is not going to work. Where I'm going and where you're going and what you're doing, it just I can't do that. Right. And and you have to. And I actually just had a conversation with someone not too long ago. Guy who does some investing in my finances and stuff. He had an employee of his, man, that he had for years. She worked for him, and I realized I started getting the emails from someone different a while back, and had a conversation. He basically said, it was time for her, to kind of push her into retirement because she wasn't keeping up with new technology. She wasn't keeping up with what the demands were now, and it was affecting the business. It was affecting even some of my business that I had because I told him, like, hey, what's I'm kind of dropping the ball over there, man. Like, let me know if I need to move my stuff somewhere else.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
And he told me no. There was some transition, and it was just time. She just wasn't able to adapt. And while she was great for me all those years, but now it's a threat to the efficiency of my business. And it's time to make a move. So I think sometimes, man, eliminating threats is not as easy as people might think, because sometimes it's someone who's close to you. It's someone who you've been working with for a long time, but there's an expiration date on that, and I think the grace in it is being able to sever that without the bridge necessarily being burned.
Right.
But there being an adult conversation and a mutual understanding, like, hey, this is not going to work anymore. But I think what you're holding and what you're trying to do is too valuable to let any one person bring it down.
Yeah. And that's why, for me as pastor, I wanted to center this revival around this mindset that all of us individually in every aspect of our lives continue to mentally do this, whether it's on an annual basis, semi-annual basis. Just sit down and start writing down your strengths. Sit down and start writing down your weaknesses. Sit down and just write down, what are some opportunities that I have that I may or may not be taking advantage of? And start writing some threats. What are some things that are threatening you from not accomplishing what it is that you desire to accomplish? And I think if we all do that individually, we'll definitely always be in a position to continue to prosper, because we don't want to. This position to prosper, at least for me, is not a temporary thing. I want it to be life lasting. It's got to be progressive, that we're continuing to prosper in every area and aspect of our lives. And if we don't do these type of assessments or analysis, we'll just be seasonal. And a lot of times, as you said with the financial person, is if you wait too late to evaluate it, you might lose some people. He almost lost customers because he probably I didn't want to do it. They've been loyal, and that's fine. But if you see they could become a threat to your livelihood, I can't be continue to pay you if you cause me to lose money. That's it just. So listen, guys, y'all let us know in the comment section. Now, Stefan, I don't know why he asked this question, because he worked just as hard as everybody else. Talk about when the next one.
Ghana, we can't. I see you trying to talk, but you got no audio.
Now Vernell gave him the Metro phone. Now he can't talk.
Can't hear you at all.
No, we can't hear you.
It was crossing over with my computer. That's what my problem was.
Oh, yeah, Gonda you got to log back in. I don't know what it is. If you could do sign language, I think we could pick that up. I'm going to log back in, Gonda. You back? Nope, still not back. Log off, log back in. We want to get you because I could tell it's on your heart. What you want? But Stefan asked. I don't know why he asked the question because his fingers all are hurt as much as he. I ain't never seen Stefan play and stand like he really played like he was under the anointing this week. And I saw he was standing up. He was in the service, man. That was. I know we did something.
He held it down, man.
He held it down. Him and Jeremiah, man. We again just all in-house vessels. So we are gonna do this again. Maybe not a 3-night, or maybe it will be a 3-night. We are gonna maintain this encounter. I think we're gonna own that. We're gonna own the encounter. We're gonna own the encounter. There are gonna be various versions of the encounter. I like a men's version of it. I like a women's version of it. I could see how that's gonna pop. We may start off with a men's version of it, man. Just all men, just men encountering the presence of God. We'll deal with that. But there is gonna be. This is gonna stay on the calendar in one way, shape, form. I promise you. I will say this to Zion and P2P Nation: pray for us in this season. There's some things there's some doors that God is opening. There's some things that are going on behind the scenes, but I do want you all to pray about those things. We can't necessarily share them all yet. Down for a week. Oh, man, this lady drinking, man. What's she drinking? This lady drinking. This lady say, yeah, you drink. Whatever you drinking, I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want it. 7, yeah. Oh, whatever it is you drinking, please don't ever get that to me. Oh. That's illegal at every union, every state in this country. Got to be legal. Because those 3 nights, I promise you, it wore me out.
Yeah.
You tell her.
Yeah.
And you got babies, Brandon. So
listen, that was rough, man. That was rough.
But we will do a version of it, man. Listen, Mother's Day is coming. We're looking forward to hearing from the woman of God. Mother's Day is always special. These men serenade the ladies so magnificently, and I'm sure they're going to do that again on Mother's Day. So, guys, remember this Saturday, want you to be a part. We've got a special pre-Mother's Day brunch. Everybody's invited. All the ladies are invited to come. The Annette Young pre-Mother's Day breakfast. I'm sorry, this is an old graphic. It should be brunch. Forgive this graphic. It's not this graphic. It is a brunch at 1. That's an old graphic. It is a brunch at 1. So we want to be a part of that. Then, of course, on Mother's Day, we look forward to hearing from the bishop. I'm sure she's going to have an amazing word, as she does always. If your mom is still living, man, take care of them. Find a mom that you can honor this Mother's Day and be blessed. Listen, I'm going to push this, and then we're going to wrap up. Summer camp, listen, if you're watching this and you need a place for your child to go this summer camp, I promise you, I've looked around. P2P Academy has the greatest rates of summer camps. We're about halfway full, so you want to make sure that you sign up for the summer camp. Guys, this SWOT analysis, man, what y'all got to say as we wrap up tonight?
Hey, man, this was awesome, man. I prayed the whole week, man, and including Sunday was helpful to people, man. I know all of us have received feedback individually from different people, man, but I just pray as a collective, these vessels of Zion, man, were really able to impact people and help people. And it was an honor, man. It was an honor to share the stage with these guys and share the platform with these guys this week. And I think it was the start of something great. So I'm thankful. I got to head out, guys. I got a class.
Yeah.
I got to teach. But thank y'all, man. Enjoyed this tonight.
All right, man. Vernell, any closing remarks, man, you want to share as we wrap up?
I was just excited to have been, asked to participate in it. I'm praying that, there's much more to come. God continue to use me, and I be a vessel and continue to minister to God's people.
Yeah, just think we didn't even have Jasmine there. She was too busy having fun on the crew. We didn't even have, so we didn't even have the full team. So could you imagine with the full team what it would be like, man? It would be, whew, Lord have mercy. So we're grateful, thankful, guys. Thank y'all so much for making this deeper dive special and different. Sister Kemp, we look forward to seeing you at some point on Sunday. I'm sure if you show up, we give the mic. You'll see something to make us happy. All right, love you guys. Be blessed. We will see you next time on Deeper Dive.
Yeah. God bless.